Hey y'all. Welcome to Neon's Movie Reviews. I'm Neon. This is my review channel. Today I'm going to be talking about Eight-Legged Freaks. And I know, right? It's this 2002 monster movie. It's about giant monster spiders that attack this small town I think it's almost said Perfection of Nevada. It's oh crap, I'm totally blanking on this. But it takes place in Arizona, and it's basically take Tremors and that kind of feel and aesthetic and everything, the monster violence and kind of feel of Gremlins, and mash them together, throw in some of the elements from The Mist, like the creature designs, and yeah, just focus entirely, though, on spiders. And that's kind of what you have with this movie. Unfortunately, those three films I just cited are all fantastic movies, and this movie is not. It's not a bad movie by any means. I have a soft spot for it. I remember the hype for this movie. I remember when the trailers came out. I was really excited. There was this Flash game that was on the company's website that was this like first person shooter where you had like a shotgun, a pistol, a rifle, and a crossbow, and you were just running around the mall, which is the end set piece. Definite Dawn of the Dead reference, and just blowing away spiders. And I remember this film so fondly in the build up for it, and then finally getting around to seeing it and it just being like, oh, that's all it is. Oh, okay, well, it was fun for what it is. And we picked it up when it was on DVD, and I just remember as a kid just watching this film a lot. There was something about it that just worked for me, and I recognized that it was heavily flawed. There was a lot of scenes in it that I did not find funny, and it wasn't like, and I still don't find funny. It's not because the humor I didn't get or anything like that. It's just it was not funny. David Arquette I find very funny. Some of the townsfolk I find funny. The crazy conspiracy guy, I really enjoy him. I enjoy the partner, or the sheriff's partner. But a lot of the other characters are just kind of weird. Not necessarily in a good way, not necessarily in a bad way. It almost feels like a I don't want to be this mean, but it almost feels like a Stephen King TV movie or TV series supporting cast. Like, not your main cast, not your main cast's supporting cast, but the townsfolk. Those characters. And I recognize that, like, Tremors and these other films that I cite don't have the super strong townsfolk, and these characters are pretty much worthless. They have couple characteristics, and that's their character, but they're memorable. And in this one, they're all just stereotypes. But I don't want to feel like I'm bashing on this movie. I really do enjoy this movie. It's a lot of fun. Just know what you're expecting. It's a film. It's basically Tremors meets Gremlins with giant spiders, starring David Arquette. That pretty much tells you what you're in for. But this it's a lot of fun for a PG-13 film. I remember as a kid that I thoroughly enjoyed it just for the monster gore that was in it, because when these spiders get killed, they explode into gore. It's not organs or anything like that. It's just green CGI ooze, but as a kid I had a lot of fun with it, and even as an adult I appreciate that it's there, because it's not there anymore for most movies. Even R-rated movies, a lot of the time it's just digital, and it's so sad. Like, at least, and then it's a digital creation, it looks CGI, the blood is fitting for it, and it works for the campy feel. It's something that I've missed about 90s films and 80s films, for the PG-13 films that were coming out then, that, and I guess even before then, before the PG-13 rating was created, there was a lot of the PG films that led to the creation of the PG-13 rating. And, most PG films, if they were made today, most of them would be PG-13, a lot of them a very hard PG-13, even an R rating. But that was something that I do truly appreciate in this one. This is a monster movie. It is a comedy horror movie, but there's horror elements. There's some really good horror elements. Like I said, the monsters, they do have their gory demises, which are satisfying. You have some fantastic imagery with the spiders as they prepare to attack somebody, or they enter a room, and they're all trailer shots. They're just the shot that's memorable, and I think that's one of the biggest disappointments is the filmmakers knew what they could do, and they were setting these things up, and they just didn't know how to all bring it together, in my opinion. But again, like, I thoroughly enjoy this film. I think I harp on this film a little more because I enjoy this film so much, and because I saw that was weird. Saw that there was such a strong potential for this film that they just didn't carry through with. The main kids' commentary throughout the film, providing, spider facts, or just sprouting off things from, like, the name of the spider, or the type of attack that they're doing, and that kind of stuff got really old. They constantly use the phrase Iraq attack in this film, and knowing that this film was originally titled Iraq Attack makes complete sense that you would constantly name drop, but when your film ends up not being named that, and becomes Eight-Legged Freaks because David Arquette just said that line by happen chance one day while they were filming, and everyone loved it, and it was just like, we're going with that for the title. That's much easier to market. I almost feel that all those name drops, you might want to go back and maybe tweak some of those moments, because they do not work. They do take you out of it, and they make you remember that you're watching a movie that's inspired by B movies. And I think that's another issue for me, is this is one of those horror comedies that is trying to be a horror comedy. It's trying to be over the top. It's trying to be campy. It's trying to call back to all those B movies, when those B movies were not trying to be campy. They just were camp. They were camp. They worked because their hearts were in it. They were passionate about what they were making. They were making something for real, and it just didn't work out. But you can feel that passion. And with this one, I don't feel that passion. It's not that I don't feel like the team involved did not enjoy making this film or did not care about this film, but I feel the studio didn't care about this film. But I've kind of gone on a really long tangent about everything around this movie, but this movie. So yeah, basic plot synopsis. You've got you got David Arquette's character. He is coming back into, or driving back into town. It's the town he grew up in. His family owns the mines out there. There's supposedly, it's the methane mines, and there's supposedly gold down there, but it's like fool's gold. It's tall tales and legends and stuff. A lot of people believe it's a hoax, or just a crazy ramblings of a desperate man. I'm talking about David Arquette's father. So he comes back to town to kind of take over the family business, kind of reclaim that spot in his life. And he's also coming back into town to hopefully spark things off with his old crush, who is the town sheriff. She's got family. She's separated from her husband. We never meet the husband in the movie. Her son is the character that I was talking about earlier that constantly sprouts off these spider facts. He's the kid. The kid's a fine actor. He's nothing wrong with the performance. He's just I just don't feel there was much he was given. But this kid and his older sister, played by Scarlett Johansson, in a very young role of hers. Before that, the only thing I'd ever seen her in was Home Alone 3. So like I had no idea who she was, and then I think it was The Island was the first thing. I was just kind of like, oh, who? That's Scarlett Johansson. Who is that? Where else have I seen her? Her career from there. But so where was I? Oh yeah. So he comes back into town, kind of hopefully kick things back off with her. He gets into, there's town conflict over selling the land or keeping the land. Town's not doing well. They're on their last leg, basically. Everyone's ready to sell. And it's basically, if they can find this gold, great, we can save the town. If this gold doesn't exist, or we don't find it like within a week, or not a week, like a month, this town's pretty much gone. And then alongside all that, barrel of toxic waste happened to fall into a convenient pond. This pond happens to be the pond that the local spider farm owner happens to go collect crickets from to feed to his spiders. And he's friends with the sheriff's son. That's how the sheriff's son knows all this information. Spiders break out. They kill the owner. They go on a rampage, killing like all the town's animals, which is it's another thing I have an issue with. They play it mostly for laughs, all these animals dying, and it just does not really work because they're all cute pets. Like, one of them was a Boston Terrier, and I had a pet Boston Terrier. Like, I don't want to see a Boston Terrier get killed, especially eaten by a big spider. But regardless of that, the tactics make sense. It's just the way they play it does not work for me. That proceeds to the spiders getting bigger and bigger. They start attacking the miners. They start coming out, attacking the town as a whole. They announce to everybody, hey, let's go to the mall. You have a big last standoff there in the mall, like Dawn of the Dead. And that's your movie. It's a little late, spoilers, but I don't feel that really spoiled anything for you. It's a very by the numbers film, but it it works. It's very entertaining. It's not all that it could have been, and for me that was very disappointing because this was a lot of film, or this was a lot of fun. But yeah, again, very nostalgic. I am curious to see what you guys think about this. As I said, I am blinded on this film because of my nostalgia for it and all the build up and love around this film. It's very hard to separate this for me. I recognize the issues with this film, but I just thoroughly enjoy the experience of watching this movie. So for me, I would give this film 5 out of 10. It's, like I said, it's not bad, it's not good or great, but it's definitely worth checking out. But yeah, those of you that have seen this film, please let me know, what did you think of this film? Did the humor work for you? Did the spiders work for you? Did they scare you? Did you find them funny? There's one thing that I find really weird. The spiders, they make these like little chirps and noises and screams and stuff constantly throughout the film, and like not like they're growling, or well, yeah, sometimes they are growling, but not like in an animalistic way, in a gremlin-esque way. Like they'll jump onto a car and they'll be like ooh 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 ooh, and it's just it's weird. Like it works for the scene and everything, but then you start thinking about it and you're just like, that's a spider. Those things don't have any vocal cords. There's no way that thing's making any noise verbally. No, that just does not work for me. But like I said, it's a lot of nitpicky things. This film is very flawed, but it's a lot of fun. But yeah, if that's gonna kind of wrap it up here. But if you did enjoy this video, please give this video a like. I do truly appreciate you guys watching this. I know my videos are on the longer side. Even my short reviews, they go longer than I usually intend. But yeah, like I said, if you enjoyed this, please give it a like. Let me know what you thought of this in the comments. The movie, the video, if you got ideas for other other types of content that you would like me to do, or other films that you want me to cover, please let me know. But yeah, and stay tuned for more content. I got the 2020 Invisible Man coming up. I've got a huge lineup of films that I've been watching that I'm going to be reviewing over the next couple weeks here. But yeah, definitely stay safe all, and be good people. And yeah, stay safe all, and